Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the public hearings of the TRRC. Imam, you have the floor if you can offer some prayers, please.
Thank you, Chair. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Rahmanirrahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا ليغفر لك ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر ويتم نعمته عليك ويهديك صراطا مستقيما وينصرك الله نصرا عزيزا هو الذي أنزل السكينة في قلوب المؤمنين ليزدادوا إيمانا مع إيمانهم ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God of power and might, the Lord of hosts, the King of kings and the Lord of lords, the creator and preserver of all humankind throughout the whole universe, we continue to submit ourselves unreservedly under your dominion, your control. We do ask that you, by your Holy Spirit, that you will intervene in the situation and circumstances of all humankind throughout the whole world. That you grant peace, you grant tranquility, you grant stability, you grant cohesion, you grant understanding, patience, love, care and concern for one another. And we continue to pray that you guide us through this day's sitting, and that all the witnesses that will come before us, Lord, may they be able to boldly speak the truth and continue to guide the Commission with discerning spirits to discern between truth and falsehood. And you, being the just judge, will reward everyone accordingly. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Bishop Odiko. In 1948, on this day, the 10th of December, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights at its meeting in Paris. The declaration recognized or proclaimed that as a common standard of achievement, I'm reading directly from the last paragraph of its preamble, it recognized as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, and to that end, every individual and every organ of society, keeping this declaration constantly in mind, shall strive by teaching and education to promote and respect for these rights and freedoms, and by progressive measures, national and international, to secure their universal and effective recognition and observance, both among the peoples of member states themselves and among the peoples of territories under their jurisdiction. This was the declaration that the Assembly adopted in 1948. It's a day that is very important. It's a day that is key to our mandate here at the TRRC. Violations of these declarations, violations of these norms is what we have been asked to look into. I hope we would follow the instructions given in this declaration to observe, to protect, and to spread these values that are enshrined in this declaration. Just wanted to remind everyone that today is that Human Rights Day, and we share with the rest of the world in the observance of that day. Council, we have a witness ready for today. If we do, please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. We are ready to proceed. Mr. Osha, kindly bring in the witness, please.
I, Alagie Gaye.
Man, Alagie Gaye.
Alagie Gaye.
Do swear that.
Mange watne.
I'll speak the truth.
Dina wax diga.
The whole truth.
Diga bi yeb.
And nothing but the truth.
Duma fi wax leneen lu nekkul diga.
So help me God.
Kon Yalla dimbale ma.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Seede bi ñu ngi la nuyu.
Welcome to the TRRC.
Ñu ngi la dalal fi ci TRRC.
Thank you for agreeing to testify
Di la
for the
gërëm
commission.
li nga nangu pour ñoo joxe sa seede fi ci kanam commission bi.
Before you commence your testimony,
Bala nga commencé di joxe say seede.
I should inform you
Dama la bëgg xamal ne
that it is a criminal offense
ne yaxaluwa la
to lie under oath in this country.
pour nga waat ba pare wax lu doonul dëgg fii ci biir réew mi.
It is also an offense to provide false information to the TRRC.
Te tamit yaxaluwaay tamit nga joxe fii ay seede yoo xam ne nekkul dëgg ci TRRC.
As such, you expected to be very candid
Joko-
and truthful in your testimony.
ci kaw loolu nag ñu ngi séntu ne lépp loo xam ne wax nga ko fi dina doon loo xam ne dëgg lay doon.
We want to talk to you about the following topics
yi
today.
ma lim si nii moom la fas yéene pour ñu waxtaanee ko tey.
Your biographical information
ñu bugg a xam yow yaay kan.
and of course your enlistment into the gendarmerie
ak li nga xam ne noonu nga duggee bokk ci gendarmerie bi.
and the events surrounding the coup of 1994.
ak xew-xew yi nga xam ne moo wër coup d'état bi amoon atum 1994.
Mr. Chairman, just to digress a little bit,
Mr. Chairman, pour ñu dëgëral tuuti rek.
we are receiving evidence from the witness about the 22nd July coup d'état of 1994.
seede yi nga xam ne moom la seede bi fas yéene wax mooy aju ci coup d'état bi nga xam ne amoon na ñaar fukki fan ak ñaar ci weeru July atum 1994.
For the simple reason that
li ko waral nag mooy.
even though we have received a lot of evidence on that subject,
naam dëgg la nag ne am na ay seede yu ci bari yoo xam ne jot nañ ko mu aju ci mbir moomu.
but there are still some loose strands
waaye am na benn tey yoo xam ne nag mu ngi yolom tuuti ci gannaaw.
and some rather significant evidentiary issues that are contradictory.
waaye nag terewul am na yeneen mbir yoo xam ne lu am solo la yoo xam ne am na uute yu ci am.
and some adverse mentions
ak yoo xam ne tudd nañ ko fi lu bare.
which need to be clarified.
te loolu nag dafa laaj ñu leeral ko.
in view of the person's position at the time and his knowledge of events.
Ngir nak taxaway ak xam-xam mi sédé bi ci jamono joju.
It is prudent that or pertinent that we give him the opportunity to say something on that.
Bon nak amna solo nak momi tamit ñu halal ko yoon mo joxe ay sédé lu aju ci mbir yoyu.
We would also discuss how he came to leave the armed forces.
Dinañ waxtané tamit nim def be genn ci wali soldar bi.
His emigration to the United States, just briefly.
Lim gaday dem ci rewi America ci tenka rek.
Just so we understand, we don't have that too much of a gap in his testimony.
Bu ko defé nak ñu mëna xam mbir yi nim téré.
And then we would discuss your return to Gambia.
Dinañ waxtané tamit ni nga def be delu ci wat fi ci bir rewi Gambia.
Just very briefly.
Ci tenka rek.
It's not really significant in this story, in the narrative that we should give.
Na lolu sax amul solo lol ci li nga xamné mom la ñoo gëstu way nak ñu xam ci dara tuuti.
But just to have a good chronology and order of events.
Wax ñu xam rek mbir yi ni nga xamné non la topalanté.
And then we will talk about events of August 2011.
Dinañ waxtané tamit xew-xew bi amone August atum 2011.
Your encounter with the NIA.
Li nga xamné mo dox sa digante ak NIA.
And the impact that has had on you.
Ak li nga xamné mom la indil yow ci sa boppa.
And then the commission would give you the opportunity to say a few words.
Bu ko defé nak commission bi dinañ la jox cadeau pour nga jowit nga garal sa ay cadeau fi.
By way of closing remarks.
Ci jamono joju nak ci nga wara tej nak sa cadeau.
Are you ready to proceed?
Pare nga pour ñu égali.
Waaw pare na.
Yes, I'm ready.
Mr. Gaye, what are your full names, please?
Alagie Gaye.
Alagie Gaye.
Mr. Gaye, I know you understand English, but you would have to wait for the interpreter before you provide your answer in the Wolof language.
Xam naa dégg nga angale waaye da nga xaar ba olof bi lappatoo li ma la laaj nga door a tontu ci olof.
Okay, waaw baax na.
And also allow for 3 seconds between your speech and that of the interpreter.
Bu ko defee nag lappatookat bi bu lappatoo li ma la laaj ba pare da nga noppi tuuti 3 secondes nga door a tontu.
Okay, baax na.
What are your full names?
Lan mooy sa tur ak sa sant?
Alagie Gaye.
Alagie Gaye.
Is it Alagie or Alagie something Gaye?
Alagie rek la wala Alagie dara Gaye?
Alagie Gaye.
Alagie Gaye.
Alagie Gaye, what is your place and date of birth?
Fan nga juddoo ak kañ nga juddoo?
Kër Jarga Diop, North Bank Division.
Kër Jarga Diop, North Bank Division.
1st of August 1968.
1st of August 1968.
Where did you go to school?
Fan nga jàngee school?
Kerawan primary school ak secondary school yep Kerawan la ko defé.
I did my schooling both primary and secondary at the Kerawan school.
And you finished secondary school in 1985, correct?
Yaa ngi jeexal sa secondary school atum 1985 noonu la.
Waaw loolu dëgg la.
Yes, that's true.
What did you do? What did you do when you finished your schooling?
Ba nga jeexalee sa njàngum school lan nga def?
Dama nekkoon suñu dëkk di dimbala sama papa si bay si tool yi moom baykat la woon.
After completing the schooling, I stayed at home to help my father on the farms because my father is a farmer.
Did you take up any gainful employment with the government of the Republic of the Gambia?
Am na nag benn liggéey boo xam ne liggéeyal nga ko nguuri Gambia.
Loolu mu ngi amoon August, that is the 1st of August, mooy gendarmerie.
That happened on the 1st of August, which is the gendarmerie.
1st of August of which year?
Benn fanweeri August ci ban at?
Mu nekk 1987.
That was in 1987.
And what did you do 1st of August 1987?
Benn fani August 1987 loo def?
dama demoon gendarmerie dañ doon jël pour ñu xam ne nii Gambien si lañ doon jël képp ko xam ne nii jàng nga school te jàng nga te qualified nga pare bëgg ngaa dem join gendarmerie nga dem fa bu ñu demee noonu laa dem ma dem through the process bu nga xam ne ni ñoom loolu lañ ma laaj ma wane suma kayit.
Yes, I joined. There was a selection at the gendarmerie So this is why I also decided to go, because they said any person who has gone to school and completed schooling and you have papers, you can come. If you want to join, you will join. Then that's the time when I went there with my papers, and this is how I was selected.
And what was your intake number?
Yow biñ la jël nonu ci ban kurel nga tollu won ban number?
Moy 7 intake.
7th intake.
And for how long were you trained?
Ñanga mi nga don def bala nga commencé liggéey bi ñaata weer la tollu wala ci ñaata at?
Passé na at dal.
It was more than 1 year.
Where were you trained?
Fan lañ la jàngalé?
Fajara Barracks, Bakau.
It was at the Fajara Barracks in Bakau.
And who were your instructors?
Ñan ñoo la doon jàngal?
Ñu doon jàngal suñu RSM bi mo doon RSM Jammeh.
Our RSM was RSM Jammeh.
Nga am suñu instructor si nga am Binaminte.
Our instructors, there was somebody called Binaminte.
Yeah, Jammeh mu ngi fa woon, then he was a sergeant. Ñun dañ ko mit training school time boobu he was a sergeant.
Yeah, Jammeh was there, and he was at the training school at that time, and he was a sergeant.
Musa Jammeh mu ngi fa woon.
Musa Jammeh was there.
Musa Jammeh, is he known by any other name?
Musa Jammeh amna benen tour bo xamne mom lañ ko dé oyé.
Malia Mungu.
Malia Mungu.
And you mentioned Sergeant Yaya Jammeh. Who are you referring to?
Tudda nga fi ku ñoo wax Sergeant Yaya Jammeh koku moy kan?
Moy former president of Gambia.
He was the former president of this Gambia.
And who were the commanders of the gendarmerie at the time?
Jamono bobu ñan ñoo nekkon commander yi ci gendarmerie bi?
Ñun suñ commander mu ngi nekkoon ñoom Congaan moo nekkoon training school den nga ñoom Armée Yao nga am ñoom Sirif Mbay and ñoom Modou Ndiaye ak Sénégal itam ñu ngi fa woon.
Our commander in those days was Congaan, and you have Armée Yao, Sirif Mbay, and there were some Senegalese also.
Congaan, what's his full name, if you recall?
Ibrahima
Congaan. And Armiyao, what is his full name?
Armiyao mom lan muy turam diga?
Amadou
Souare.
And Armiyao would be a nickname, correct?
Melni Armiyao mom tur la rek buñ ko dé oyé.
Wow.
Yes.
You eventually completed training in 1988 and you were deployed, correct?
Nga jéxal nak njangum liggéey mi atum 1988 ci lañ la jël ci liggéey bi.
Wow, loolu dëgg la.
Yes, that's true.
Where were you posted?
Fan lañ la yóbbu pour nga liggéey fa?
Guard section, guard company lañ ma yóbbu mooy peacekeeping guard duties.
It was at the guard section there where I went to, and it was the peacekeeping duties unit.
In the Senegalese, you said the Senegalese were there when you were training. What were the Senegalese doing there?
Wax nga fi ne Sénégalais yi ñu ngi fa woon jamono biñ leen di jàngal mbiri liggéey bi lan la fa Sénégalais yi doon def?
Time confederation la.
This coincided with the time of the confederation.
Sénégalais yi seen boppam ñoom Pathé Seka moo nekkoon suñ commande moo nekkoon di commander of the gendarmerie moom mooy in charge of the whole gendarmerie Wagani tamit mu ngi woon training school.
Somebody called Pathé Seka was in charge of the gendarmerie. He was the commander, plus somebody called Wagan.
At the end of this confederation, which made it possible for the Senegalese to be here and running our gendarmerie, what did you do at the end of the confederation?
Gannaaw bi nga xamee ne confédération bi jeex na ba tax sénégalais yi nekkoon fi ci wàllu gendarmerie bi yow lan nga doon def nag gannaaw bu confédération bi jeexee?
Dee bu confédération bi jeexee.
The day that the confederation ended.
That day man maa ngi nekkoon on QRF.
On that day I was on QRF.
And QRF would mean Quick Reaction Force.
QRS moom moo tekki QRF moo tekki ñi nga xam ne daal ñoo di yëngu ci yàlla jamonoy jàmp amee.
Waaw loolu dëgg la.
Yes, that's true.
So bu loolu amee.
After that.
Kila dañ dem suñ néeg ñu nekk foofu noonu mu nekk suma néeg den capitaine Ñang capitaine Ñang ñëw suñ néeg mu ne ñu report si gardroom bi.
After that, I went up to my house and we were in my house until after some time Captain Yang came there and told us to go and report.
Si gardroom bi.
The guardroom.
Buñ demee foofu ñu fekk fa Ndaw Njaay.
When we went there, we found Ndaw Njaay there.
mu ne ñu yéen da ngeen a dem State House take over the State House from the Senegalese they are going.
He told us, you people are going to the State House. You are going to take over from the Senegalese at the State House because they are going.
Ñun number bu demoon for na daal 25 la daal, or it's not going to be more than that.
Well, the amount of us who went there will be about 25, but I think it will be not more than that.
Noonu lañ demee State House.
That's how we went to State House.
Bu ñu demee State House ñu fekk fa Yaya Jammeh.
When we went to State House, we found Yaya Jammeh there.
When you started training, he was a sergeant.
Bi ngeen a commencé njàngam liggéey moom sergeant la woon.
Waaw.
At this time, what was his rank?
Jamono bi nga ko fekkee foofu nag moom ban maxaama la yore woon.
Lieutenant la woon.
He was a lieutenant.
And what was he doing there?
Lan la fa doon def.
Xawma, it was a surprise to me, or naka la fa demee den xawma ko waaye man foofu laa ko fekk.
It was a surprise to me. I don't know how he went there, but that's where I met him.
The question is not how he went there. The question is what was he doing there?
Li ma laajte gi mooy wax laajuma naka la fa demee li ma laajte mooy bi nga ko fa fekkee moom lan la fa doon def.
Waaw moom lan la fa doon def moom dañ ko fa fekk bu ñu ko fa fekkee foofu moom lu mu ñu wax mooy dem leen take over foog naa moom ñun léeta lu ñu mën a understand mooy lu mu mën a tànk mooy moom ak kii nii Médio Ndiaye ñoom ñoo njëkkoon a dem xëy na moom Médio Ndiaye la àndatoon. So because ñun bu ñu demee si lañ gis ne Médio Ndiaye moom demoon na take over from the commander.
Yes, when we went there, we met him there with Major Njai, and that was the time when they informed us that you people, you should take over. So I thought that he went there with Major Njai together.
Was he working at the State House at the time?
Jamano bobu daf doon liggéey State House foofu.
No, kenn liggéeyu doon State House waaye time boobu noonu confederation bi jeex na Gambians have to go and take over xëy na moom dañ ko woonoon pour mu dem but I don't know.
What did you personally go there to, oh, sorry.
At that time, the confederation has just ended, and maybe they might have called him to go there for the taking over, but that's how we found him there.
Was he posted there?
Moom dañ ko fa ebaloon pour mu liggéey fa.
No, no, xawma loolu.
No, I don't know that.
Did Yaya Jammeh ever serve at State House?
Yaya Jammeh mos naa liggéey foofu ca State House.
Déedéet, to my knowledge, no.
No, to my knowledge, no.
But on this, but for how long did you serve at State House?
Yow ban diir nga nekk foofu di liggéey State House?
Man State House am naa fa almost maa ngi dem foofu noonu 1989 ba bu ma jeexal suma service that was 1989 laa fa dem ba bu ma jeexal suma service.
I went there in 1989 up to the end of my service.
Almost 9 years am naa ko for something like that.
I think I spent 9 years there.
But you have no recollection of Yaya Jammeh working at State House being, in fact, part of the presidential guards.
But mënuloo fàttale ko Yaya Jammeh doon liggéey State House bokk ci ñi nga xam ne ñoo doon garder président bi.
No, for na council yow I think you missed da nga miss point bi. Ndax lu xew mooy da nga ma laaj ne time bu ñu fa demee mooy bu coup d'état bi amee bu changes amee. Bu confederation bi jeexee bu ñu demee State House ndax well before Yaya Jammeh dem na fa am dem moo tax ma jox la di answer. Wow.
Maybe as he said, the council, you might have missed the point because you asked me what was he doing there. I said at the end of the confederation, that was the time when we were told to go to the State House, and we found him there.
Well, if you don't understand the question, just ask me to clarify.
Okay.
My question was Yaya Jammeh posted was he deployed to State House? Did he work there at any stage?
Limal la laaj mooy ndax am na benn jamono boo xam ne Yaya Jammeh ewal nañ ko foofu pour mu dem di liggéey State House.
waaw liggéey na State House because ñun ñoo moom fa nekkoon.
Yes, he worked at the State House because we were there with him.
So the point I was trying to make is that the platoon that was sent, or was it a company, because company would be about 30, the 25 that were sent to State House worked under Yaya Jammeh in the initial days, correct?
Lima buga leral fofu rek moy ndax ñaar fukk ak juróomi soldat yooyu nga xam ne ñoom lañ ebaloon State House dañ doon liggéey ci ron Yaya Jammeh ndax.
waaw loolu am na.
Yes, that's how it happened.
And in fact, Yaya Jammeh worked at State House for some time.
Ndaxam bon Yaya Jammeh liggéey na State House ab diir.
waaw liggéey na fa ak ñun ab diir.
Yes, he worked with us there for some time.
And what were your duties at State House?
yow lan mooy woon sa liggéey foofu State House.
man first State House man ci physical guard bi laa bokkoon.
At the initial stages, I was part of the physical guards.
Then bu ma fa jógee ñu yóbbu ma nekk building président bi ma nekk foofu noonu as a security too.
And after that, I was taken to the president's building, and I was the security there too.
That is loolu mooy office bi main office of the president.
That's the president's main office.
bu ma fa jógee ma nekk ci bodyguard section bi.
From there, I became part of the bodyguard section.
As at 1994, which section were you working?
At 1994 ci ban fànn nga ci doon liggéey.
1994 time boobu bodyguard section bi laa bokk.
1994, still I was at the bodyguard section.
And what were the responsibilities of bodyguards?
Bodyguard yooyu doon garde président bi ñoom lan mooy woon seen cër ci wàllu liggéey bi.
I didn't say bi doon garde président bi it may have been to guard the president. The question is, what was the responsibilities of the bodyguards in general?
ñi nga xam ne ñoo fa doon garde foofu noonu bodyguard yi ñoom lan mooy woon seen taxawaay.
bokk na ci cër bu nga xam ne ni ñun amoon nañ ko as bodyguard.
There is a part of this thing as bodyguards which we did.
First family bi muy président bi jabaram ak njobootam.
The first family, that's the president's wife and his family members.
fépp fu ñoo dem ñun ñooy dem ak moom.
Wherever they are going, we accompany them.
moom président bi itam fu moo dem itam ñun ñoo moom ay dem.
Wherever the president himself goes, we go along with him.
mbiri sécurité si ñun la nekk.
All his security matters were rested on us.
To who were you attached?
yow ci kan lañ la tegoon pour ngay ko garder.
man Demba Ndiaye moo nekkoon suñ boss.
Me, Demba Ndiaye was our boss.
To who in the first family were you attached? Was it the president, the first or second lady, or family members? Who were you attached to?
ci kër buur bi foofu ci kan lañ la tafoon daal nga di ko garder président bi la woon njëlbeeni soxnaam wala ñaareel bi wala ci njabootam gi.
non ñun bodyguards ñun ñëpp lañ dee liggéeyal dañ dee liggéey ak président bi dañ dee liggéey ak njabootam dañ dee liggéey ak ñëpp lañ dee liggéeyal.
As for us, the bodyguards, we work with each and every member of the family. We work with the president, his wife, and his family members.
On 21st July 1994, do you recall where you were?
ñaar fukki fan ak benn ci weeru July atum 1994 mun ngaa fàttaliku fan nga nekkoon.
waaw mën naa ko fàttaliku bu baax a baax.
Yes, I can remember that day very well.
Tell us.
wax ñu.
1994 22nd July.
You were asked about 21st July.
21st of July.
waaw.
mu ma fekkoon si airport bi.
That found me at the airport, the 21st of July.
What were you doing there?
loo fa doon def.
dañ ñu selegoon man ak benn NIA officer Joe Gomez ñu dem nekk foofu on advance survey.
We were selected, myself and Joe Gomez, to go to the airport and be the advance survey.
Joe Gomez For which organization was he working?
Joe Gomez mom ci ban mbootaay la doon liggéey.
Moom NIA officer la woon.
He was an NIA officer.
There was no NIA at the time.
Then NSS officer.
Maano boobu NIA.
He was the NSS.
So he was part of the intelligence service, the National Secret Service.
Bon moom bokkoon na ci ñi nga xam ne ñooy doon amee kaaraange gi ci wàllu sekkara jamono jooju.
Wow.
Yes.
You said you were at the airport. What were you sent there to do?
Nga ne yaa ngi woon ci airport bi lan lañ la fa ebaloon pour nga def fa.
Waaw ñun ñu nekk bodyguard suñu liggéey loon fu président bee dem balam fa fu moo ñëw balam fa àgg ñu dem ñu seet foofu noonu.
As we, the bodyguards, wherever the president is going to, or if he's coming to a certain place, we as the bodyguards, we have to go there.
As an advance party to observe the environment, what is happening there. That's what you meant to say, right?
Melni li nga tekki loolu mooy dañ leen a jiital pour ngeen dem seet béréb bi xam la nga xam ne moo faa xew.
Waaw loolu dëgg la.
Yes, that's true.
On that day, prior to your deployment, were you given any briefing?
Bés boobu nag balaañ la fa doon ebal ndax xamal nañ leen la nga xam ne moom ngeen fa war a def.
Déedéet waxuñu dara dama war a demal si airport bi rek président dafa ñëw rek bodyguard ma gis na is normal rek ma dem.
No, they didn't tell us anything. There was no briefing. We were just told that the president is coming, and so you have to go to the airport. So this is how we went to the airport.
Did you hear any rumors of significance at that time?
Jamono boobu déggoon nga ay yan ngunu yoo xam ne xëj na lu am solo la woon daal ci jamono boobu.
Bu ñoo dem foofu noonu xamoo dara te kenn waxuma dara te I don't know nothing.
When we were going there, nobody told me anything, and I didn't know anything because I was not aware of anything.
What time did you leave the airport on that day?
Ban waxtu nga bàyyeekoo ci airport bi bés boobu.
Bu président bi ñëwee si lañ join convoy bi ñu dem ak moom ba State House. From there si lañ bi suma kër.
When the president came, we joined the convoy with him and went with him all the way to State House. Then afterwards, I went back to my home.
Did you notice anything untoward, anything abnormal on that day?
Ndax seetlu woon nga fa dara loo xam ne daal xëj na faralul di am jaaduwul bés boobu.
While you were at the airport?
Jamono ja nga nekkee ca airport ba.
Waaw loolu am na.
Yes, something happened.
Ndax si airport bi gis naa kera ñuy saaj the Kola party.
Because at the airport that day, I saw the Kola party members were being searched.
What do you mean by Kola party?
Loo tekki boo waxee ne Kola party mooy lan.
Maanaam président bu ñëwee ñi nga xam ne nii dañ dee nekk ñuy soldat yi dee taxaw da ko teeru ñooñu gisoon naa ne dañ dis am nañ ku mel ni Yaya Jammeh gisoon naa itam ne dis amoon nañ ko foofu si airport bi.
The soldiers who always come and form and make a formation to meet the president, I saw them being disarmed at the airport that day, and even Yaya Jammeh, I saw him being disarmed.
And of course, disarm, yang ci jublu, yang ci wax ci olof ne nangu nañ gànnaayam.
Wow.
Yeah.
And apart from that, you did not see anything else that was abnormal.
Gannaaw loolu nga wax ni gisuloo fa leneen loo xam ne daal faralu di am.
Waaw moom Yaya Jammeh buñ defee loolu ba pare léegi ñu man bu ma nekk si biir oto bi képp ku nekkoon si airport bi witness na li everybody knows that so moom lu mu def mooy dafa xaar ba nga xam ne man gis na maa ngi dem si oto bi moom Yaya Jammeh mu ñëw foofu da wax ak man de ree.
Yes.
Foofu noonu nag ñu bëri ñu ma doon xool.
Well,
after nag si lañ delluwaat back to State House ñu ñëw.
Something happened because after he was disarmed, Yaya Jammeh came to me and he was talking to me, but he was also laughing. And that a lot of people at the airport observed that, and people were looking at us. And after that incident, that was the time when we left and went to State House.
What did he say?
Lan la wax?
No, dañ am normal jokes maag moom.
Usually we share jokes, myself and him.
What did he say?
Lan la wax?
Lu ma wax mooy maire bi dafa amoon benn bés bu ñu demoon benn opération dafa amoon kii ni benn oto ñu fa nekk si biir oto bi ñooy 7 mu ne ma gars yi nekkoon si oto bi ñu ngi 7 noonu la wax pare mu ree and that was what is it so loolu is normal fu ma gis rek Yaya Jammeh bu ma gisee sax daf day ree because of that incident because ñoon dañ tiitoon ñu nekk si benn oto pare ñu 7 so loolu la woon normally moo tax sax maa ngi moom dañ close woon because yu bëri dañ ko daan def maa ngi moom understand muy Yaya Jammeh ñun ñoo nekkoon State House.
am na lu ma understand foofu de maire wax nga maire ban.
maire bi kooku ñoom dañ nekkoon si benn oto bi nag convoy bi doon dem pare léegi bu ñu gisee soldats yi ñu ñëw si ñoom ñu tiit ñuy 7 so loolu laa ree loolu lañ doon wax itam kere loolu la ma waaye à part waxuñ dara.
There was an incident when we were in a convoy and we went to some old women, and I think they were scared up to the point of somebody wetted herself. So then we laughed, and that's always what we use as a joke between me and him. So that day, that's what he told me when he came. He reminded me of that incident, and we all laughed.
Did you suspect anything?
No, suspect bu ma dara waaye si guddi gi bu ma ñëwee ba suñu résident suma benn xarit Omandour mu te dama mu ñëw kunkung suma bunti néeg mu ne ma booy mu ne ma lii moo xewoon lii moo waroon a xew Yaya Jammeh dañ baroon a pare woon pour coup waaye dafa fee bul nelaw.
What happened is that at night when I was at home, a friend of mine called Omar Ndour came to my house. He knocked my door. When I woke up and met him, he told me, well, something was supposed to happen. Yaya Jammeh and his people wanted to stage a coup, but as for now, it has failed.
Did he tell you anything as to the status of Yaya Jammeh at that time?
Wow, how no money that ne sama wana mu ne Yaya Jammeh dañ ko arrest.
He told me that Yaya Jammeh has been arrested.
And what did you do after that?
Gannaaw bi nak lan nga def?
Ma tëdd ba ci bët set ci suba gi.
I went to bed until in the morning.
Didn't you guys decide not to sleep?
Ndax nangutoowu leen nag ne bu kenn nelew?
Moom wax na ma lool waaye soldat bu la sa moromi soldat ne bul nelaw rek that means ne be prepared.
Yeah, he told me that, and if a soldier tells his fellow soldier that don't sleep, that means you should be prepared.
Did you prepare?
Ndax waajoon nga pare woon nga?
Waaw.
Yes.
What did you do?
Loo def?
Dama tëdd waaye du ma nelaw.
I went to bed, but I didn't sleep.
Okay. Interesting one. So, and what happened in the morning?
Ca suba sa nag lu xew?
Ma receive new telephone from our bodyguard section.
I received a call from our bodyguard section.
You know, report to the State House.
And I was told to report at the State House.
You know, them advance party to Nigeria.
They said I should join an advance party to go to Nigeria.
Them advance party to Nigeria.
I should be a member of the advance party to Nigeria.
What day was this?
Ban bés la woon?
That was mooy kera 22nd July si boppam.
That was the day itself, 22nd July itself.
What time did you arrive at the office?
Ban waxtu nga àgga ci office bi?
Around maa ngi fa àgga boori 9 daal.
I arrived there around 9 o'clock.
Did you notice anything that was abnormal that day? That morning?
Bés boobu suba soosu ndax foofu tamit seetlu nga fa dara loo xam ne daal faralul de am?
No, man seetlu ma leen waaye bu ma ñëwee fekk dama ñëw rek dugg biir State House ma fekk lantam moom tama mu ngi taxaw foofu bu ma fekkee lantam moom tama mu ngi taxaw foofu noonu mu ne ma tàngoo dat Alagie yow yaa ngi fii.
I didn't observe anything, but when I arrived at the State House that morning, I found Lantombon Tamba standing there. And what he told me was that, thank God, Alagie, you are here.
Where did you live at the time?
Jamono jooju fan nga dëkkoon?
Mu ngi dëkkoon si benn kaam ñu ko woowee Cocktail City mu ngi nekk gannaaw MRC Bori Marine International School. Nyong Marine International School ñoo si fence.
I was living at a camp called Cocktail City, which was just behind the MRC camp. In fact, we shared a fence with the MRC, that's with the Marina school.
That's in Fajara, right?
That's where I was staying.
Wow, Fajara.
Yes, it's Fajara.
How did you get to Banjul that morning to arrive at State House at 9?
Naka nga demee Banjul nag ba mun a àgg State House juróom-ñeenti waxtu ci suba.
No, man dañ ma ko wax rek ma dugg taxi rek dem.
When I was informed, I decided to join a taxi and go.
Did you notice anything at the bridge?
Ba nga eggee ca bridge ba seetlu nga fa dara.
Déedéet time bu ma dem noonu de amul lenn loo xam ne nii apu na xanaa bu ñu nee ba State House si laa door a xam ne waaye at bu ma dem noonu ci bridge bi foofu noonu amul lenn lu ma fa gis.
On the way going, everything was normal. There was nothing abnormal at the bridge. I didn't observe anything there. It was when I went until I reached the State House, that's the time I observed things. But on the way, things were normal.
It is most likely, therefore, that you arrived at State House before 9 o'clock.
Bon na xëj na mun naa am ne ba nga àgg State House boobu 9 juróom-ñeenti waxtu tegaagut.
Waaw loolu laa moo tax man la between 8 or 9 loolu laa waxoon.
That's what I said. It was between 8 and 9.
Okay. So you continued your work at State House, correct?
Léegi nag nga continuer di def sa liggéey sa State House doon la.
Waaw bu ma ñëwee fekk fa lan tombong bu ma waxee loolu mu ne ma demal nga join Bajo si la xamal sama bopp ne fii nii am na lu fi xew. o de am na lu fi war a xew itam.
It was the time when Lantombon talked to me. He then told me to go and join Bajo. That was the time that I suspected that something is afoot or something is going to happen here.
What was Lang Tombong doing there?
Lan la fa Lan Tombong doon def?
Lan Tombong moo nekkoon suñu boss moom itam ci commander si la bokkoon at the State House.
Tombong was our boss. He was among the commanders at that time at State House.
Do you recall what his rank was at the time?
Fàttaliku nga ban maxaama la yore woon jamono boobu.
Lieutenant la woon.
He was a lieutenant.
And Bajo, what's his full name? The Bajo he sent you to?
Bajo boobu mu la ebal noonu lan mooy turam?
Mooy commander Bajo moom moo nekkoon captain Bajo Lamin Bajo.
He was the commander. He was Commander Bajo or Captain Bajo.
Did you do as you were told by Lang Tombong?
Lila Lang Tombong wax noonu def nga ko?
Waaw def naa ko.
Yes, I did that.
Tell us what happened when you went to Bajo.
Léegi nag wax ñu lan a xew ba nga eggee ca Bajo.
bu ma jógee si Lan Tombong de dem si Bajo rek noonu laa tasee ak Bajo mu ngi génn si kaw office vice président Sekou Sabali moom ak ADC Gassama.
When I was going to meet Bajo, we met on the way. He was coming from Sekou Sabali's office, and along he was coming with Nganemo Kano Andon.
ADC Gassama mooy Lamin Gassama.
He was coming along with ADC Gassama, Lamin Gassama.
So Bajo munema.
So Lamin
Kaba Bajo munema.
Lamin Kaba Bajo told me.
Moom moo nekkoon commander State Guard.
He was the commander of the State Guards.
Munema arrangeal oto yi, arrangeal convoy bi.
He told me to arrange a convoy.
Convoy bi foog naa bu ma fàttewu daal 2 to 3 car daal mënu ko passé daal ñetti oto la daal mënu ko passé.
If I can remember, it was not more than 3 vehicles.
waaye first oto bi.
But the first vehicle.
American ambassador oto bi la.
It was the American ambassador's vehicle.
beneen oto bu fa toppa.
The other vehicle following that.
Pajero la woon.
Then?
Pajero.
It was a Pajero.
Mitsubishi Pajero yi.
It was a Mitsubishi Pajero.
Then mu ne ma ñu ngi dem jëli paa bi.
And he told me we are going to collect the pa.
That is Sadauda Kairaba Jawara.
That's Sadauda Kairaba Jawara.
What was the third vehicle?
ñetteeli moto bi lan la woon.
So loolu laa xamul the number of oto waaye foog naa oto yi moo tax ma ne ñaari oto yi moo xam ne mën naa recognize lii la.
Yes, this is what I said. These 2 vehicles, I was able to recognize these 2 vehicles as I described just now.
So léegi bu ñu nekkee bu ma taxee noonu si oto yi foofu de xaar.
So when I was waiting near those vehicles there,
2 American soldiers.
2 American soldiers.
ñii special soldiers lañ.
They are special soldiers.
ñu ñëw join ma.
They came and joined me there.
Bajo ñew mo Seku Sabali ak Pabi.
Bajo came with Seku Sabali and the old man.
Ak kini ak Lamin Gassama.
And Lamin Gassama.
Ñu dugg Pabi Jawara ci bopam.
Jawara himself.
Ak Seku Sabali.
And Seku Sabali.
ñoom ñoo dugg ci auto American ambassador bi.
They boarded the American ambassador's vehicle.
Ak ADC Gassama.
With ADC Gassama.
Lamin Kababajo ci bopam.
Lamin Kababajo himself.
Ak man.
With me myself.
ñun ñoo join that Pajero.
We boarded the Pajero.
Ak doomi Jawara yi.
Plus Jawara's children, plus Jawara's family members.
Ledi ci len tan ci la bokon mo Jawar mo Jawara auto bu dugon ñoo auto bu ñom Seku Sabali nekkon Jawara ledi ci len tan am sorry fofu la nekkon.
And Ledi Chilel also boarded the vehicle where Seku Sabali and Jawara himself were.
Did you hear any conversation between Jawara and people who were around him at the time regarding his relationship with what was happening at the time?
Ndax bang fa nekké déggon nga yeen kàddu yoo xam ne dox na diggante Jawara ak ñam fa nekkaloon lu aju ci xew-xew boobu nga xam ne moo fa doon xew.
No gisuma ñu wax xanaa leen rek laa gis ñu wax ko ne ko mu ne ñu ne ko mu simi mbubam bi xaftaanam bi beneen xaftaan bi daf ko simi woon soo bu frog la demee woon ñoo ñëpp dañ simi moom ak Seku Sabali yëpp dañ simi woon seen xaftaan yi frog lañ demee woon.
I didn't hear them discussing anything. The only thing I heard was that they told him to remove his gown, the top gown. And he did that. He himself with Seku Sabali, they all took off their top gowns and they were left with frocks or the under shirts that they wore.
So,
just a moment. Were there any other soldiers around at the time? Any other members of the presidential guard around at the time?
Jamono bobu ndax am na ñen ci soldat yi nga xamne ñoo di garder président bi ñoo xamne ñu fa woon.
Waaw lool amna ñu fa ni ñang fa.
Yes, people were there.
But problem bu am moy.
But the problem that occurred was
kera da nga wax ak sa morom ni du dé wax.
That day you talk to even somebody that you know, he will not respond.
When was this? Before the PA or Sadauda was taken away, or after he was taken away?
Li nga wax ni kañ la woon bala ñoo yóbbu Sadauda wala gannaaw buñ ko yóbbu ba pare.
Bala ñoo yóbbu Sadauda man bu ma ñëwee ci State House loolu moo fa nekk da nga wax ak sa morom ni du dee wax.
Before they took away Sadauda, that's the time I'm talking about. When I came to State House, you will talk to somebody, and he will not talk to you.
Why was that?
Fi Africa la.
This place is Africa.
As at that time, was it known to you, the security at State House, what was happening? Was it known to you?
Ba ci jamono joju ndax xamaloon nañ leen yeen ñi nga xamne yeena amé won karange gi fofu State House xamaloon nañ leen li doon dox.
Waaw time boobu noonu dégg nañ ne ñi move nañ yaa jame ñu move nañ ñu ngi coup d'état mu ngi am.
Yes, at that time we've heard the news that Yaya Jammeh and his people, they have already moved and there was a coup in the offing.
And where was Jawara taken?
Fan lañ yóbbu Jawara?
Jawara ñu yóbbu ko ci seaport bi la American Navy ñu nga amoon seen benn gaal bu fa nekk foofu lañ yóbbu Jawara.
There was an American Navy ship at the seaport. That's where they took Jawara.
And for you, what happened?
Yow nak yow sa boppa lu xew?
Man foofu bu ñu yóbboo Jawara pare léegi ni dañ fàtte woon briefcase yi Jawara si biir oto bi ñoom ADC moom moo def loolu. dafa fàtte woon bi briefcase yi ADC kii ni Jawara bi ak Seku Sabali si biir oto bi.
When we took them up to the seaport, in fact, they forgot Jawara and Seku Sabali's briefcases in the vehicle.
So Bajo wax na moom dem jëli briefcase bi.
So Bajo told me to go and pick those briefcases.
Ma ñëw jël briefcase yi.
I went and collected the briefcases.
ñëw bëgg ko dugal si biir gaal bi.
When I came, I wanted to go inside the ship with those briefcases.
Americans yi.
The Americans.
Seen security nekk si bunta bi foofu.
There are securities who were at the gate there.
ñu dama jox leen briefcase yi.
They said, let me hand these briefcases to them.
ma ne leen du ma leen ko jox.
I said, no, I will not give you these briefcases.
Suma commander laa ko jox, it's not you people.
I will give it to my commander, but not you people.
ñu ne ma okay.
They said, okay.
Bajo génné
Bajo came out.
Ma jox ko briefcase.
I gave him the briefcases.
Mu ne ma xaar ma.
He said to me to wait for him.
Dañoo dem jëli security advisor.
They are going to pick up the security advisor.
Director General NSS then.
Plus the Director General of the then NSS.
So may ko xaar.
I was waiting.
So moom bu mu demee dugg pour génne yóbbu briefcase yi.
When he went in to go and drop the briefcases,
American ambassador driver bi.
The driver of the American ambassador.
Am nga mbiri civilian rek.
Because as you know, civilian matters.
Moom mu dem jël feteli suñ feteli.
He went and took our guns.
The feteli bu mu jël mooy feteli Bajo la woon ak ADC Gassama seen AK-47.
The guns he picked up were Gassama and Bajo's guns. The ADC Gassama.
So moom mu taxaw ak feteli yooyu noonu.
He was standing there with those guns.
Navy bi.
The Navy.
The Gambian Navy.
Gambian Navy.
Captain Hassan Sarr.
Captain Hassan Sarr.
Mom time boobu noonu moom moo lead on that section boo xam ne Navy section boo xam ne ñu ngi nekkoon ci biir gaal bi.
He was heading the Navy section who were on board the ship.
Was it Hassan Sarr?
Hassan Sarr, yes.
Hassan Sarr la.
You had two Sarrs there.
Ñaari Sarr fa nekk de.
The light skin Sarr or the dark skin Sarr?
O xees ki la wala ku ñuul ki?
Twins lañ woon. To mom Cheikh la. After one time he was the army commander, something like that. Wow.
Proceed.
So bu loolu amee.
After that,
moom kii ni American ambassador si driver bi bu mu téye fetel yi.
When the American ambassador's drivers was holding these guns,
Sansar ñëw fekk ko foofu.
Sansar came and found him there.
Mu nangu fetel yi si moom.
And took the guns from him.
Bu mu jëlee fetel yi muy dem.
When he took the guns and he was going,
man maa ngi wàcce ak Bajo ñu ngi wàcce si kaw.
And myself and Bajo, we were descending coming down.
Then
I told Bajo that these guns are yours, you yourself and the ADC's guns. I told him by all means we should take these guns. Then Bajo told me, Alagie, it is not worth it, just leave it. I told him I will take these guns. In any way. So when I went to collect the guns, how I am going to take these guns, you will see. And even a groundnut will not be opened. I left him there and I went. I went to Hassan Sarr.
Full section bi.
Their full section there. I asked him, why are you taking our guns?
It was just with a civilian, that's why we take it.
Son told me that it was with a civilian, this is why I decided to take it. I went and gave Bajo the guns.
You delu State House.
We went back to State House.
You went with who?
Bajo Kababajo.
I went with Kababajo.
State House.
When we went to State House,
you realize ne ñu xam ne ñu bu ñu demee State House ñu xam ne njobooti Jawara ji am na ñu fa des.
When we went to State House, we discovered that some members of Jawara's family were still at the State House.
Moo doon Mariama Jawara.
That was Mariama Jawara.
Ak Fatumata Jawara.
And Fatumata Jawara.
We have to cut this part short.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Arrangements were made for the rest of Jawara's families who were there to be also taken to the vessel. Was that the case?
Waa ñu gàttal boor boobu rek njabooti Jawara gi fi desoon defoon nañ ay tëralin pour ñoom tamit ñu dem dugga ca gaal ga.
Waaw.
Yes.
Loolu nu mu amee mooy.
That how it happened was.
Man bu ma jëlee Mariama Jawara.
When I took Mariama Jawara.
Ma dem ba ma jël beneen oto dem ba fii nii Gambia High School.
I took one of the vehicles when I went all the way to Gambia High School.
Ay mbu Fatmata Jawara mu ngi dem liggéey.
At that time, Fatmata Jawara was going to work.
Then the coup was on.
And the coup was already on.
Ay mbu daanaka moom tuuti ko lu mu dajee soldat yi.
And it was just a short while before she was about to meet with the soldiers.
ñu galan oto bi ci kanamam.
We decided to barricade the way in front of her.
Moom sax dafa tiitoon.
She was scared.
Let's focus on the more important issues.
Okay.
She was also picked up and taken to the vessel. Is that the case?
waaw bu ma ko indee mu indi ko State House waaye Fally Jaba moo ko yóbbu si Besul moo dem ak ñoom ndax man bu ma ñëwee ba State House dama ne dootuma demati si gaal bi.
Yes, when I took a picture, I came all the way back to State House. It was Fally Jabang who took her to the vessel because I decided that I will not return to that vessel.
We are more interested in what happened at State House until the coupist arrived at State House.
ñun li ñu gën a itteel mooy lan moo xew State House ba nga xam ne ñi doon def coup d'état bi ba jamono jiñ egsee foofu State House.
Okay.
Okay.
How did you organize yourselves at State House?
Naka ngeen
Before
boole
the arrival of the coupist at State House.
naka ngeen boolente seen bopp State House bala ñi def coup d'état bi di egsi foofu.
waaw xam nga man wax naa la ma ne la man nekkuma foon man dama ñëw te lii mooy suma mission man lii laa def.
Yes, as I said, I was there. I was not there initially. Then when I came there, I said what I did, and this is what I said.
When you returned to State House with Fatoumata Jawara, and they were taken to the vessel by Fally Jabang, what did you do?
Banga jëlu si waatee State House ànd ak Fatoumata Jawara Fally Jabang jël ko yóbbu ko ca gaal ga yow lan nga def.
man noonu laa dem ma bokk ci ñi nekk State House ma ne bu ñoo fetel bu ñoo xeex dañoo xeex man because that was it but dama ne I'll be part of the team you will defend this State House.
That was the time after their departure of Fally and Fatoumata Jawara, I decided to join those who were left at the State House because I intended and I had that in mind that if there is going to be a fight, I will fight to defend the State House.
And how were you organized?
léegi naka ngeen boole wante seen boppa.
waaw foofu noonu bu nekkee man bu ma nekkee foofu noonu within that short period.
When I was there within that short period.
si lañ gis kii ni ñoom Edwin ñu ngi Edward with his team ñu doon ñëw.
That was the time we saw Edward with his team coming.
The question is, how were you organized?
li ma laajte mooy naka ngeen boolante seen boppa.
soldats yi ñu ngi woon fu nekk ku ci nekkoon nga tegoon sa position pour xeex.
Soldiers were there, and each and everyone took a position and was ready to fight.
Did you guys mount a defense for State House?
ndax yéen dajaloo woon ngeen pour aar State House.
waaw parew nañ pour xeex. ak State House moom parew nañ pour defend ko di laata because fetel yu mënta nekk foofu noonu yëpp génnewoon nañ leen.
Yes, we were ready to defend the State House. We mounted a defense, and all the guns in the State House, we took them all out and prepared.
Who commanded that defense?
Kan moo
that
jiite woon
defense that was organized?
li ngeen oote woon noonu pour aar State House kan moo leen jiite woon.
Lantombon Tamba.
Lantombon Tamba.
What responsibilities were you given?
yéen yan cër lañ leen joxoon ne loolu ngeen war a def.
Yow personally.
surtout yow sa boppa.
man bodyguard la aws léegi kay opération mu am léegi kenn amul responsibility ñëpp fa nekk rek ku ci nekk rek you are waiting for an order.
But that is very much different from what an army does. When there is an operation, you are organized. You're just not there by being there. You are organized. You have particular tasks that are assigned.
waaye loolu nekkul lu faral di am nag ci wàlli soldaar gi bu xew-xew yi amee dañ leen a boole ku ci nekk ñu sas la li nga xam ne moom nga war a def ngeen waajal ko.
no State House ñoom Lantombo ñoom defoon nañ loolu waaye man dama la wan ma ne la man I was not part of it. man nekkumoon juuti dama ñëwoon for this thing so man lu ma ñëw rek man la ma fekk foofu loolu laay mën a bokk rek waaye man mënuñ maa jox responsabilité extra.
As I said, I'm a bodyguard. So when I came and found this situation and State House, after all that passed, that transpired there, I was there and I decided to be part of the people who are in the State House to defend the State House. And nobody gave me any other responsibility.
But it is really unheard of for an army which is mounting a defense, waiting for an attack, to just have its people free-flowing around without any particular tasks or any particular roles.
waa lii de moom doy na waar na pour ay soldats yoo xam ne ñu ngi dajaloo pour aar béréb di xaar nag pour songa boo xam ne dina war a ñëw dal ci seen kaw ñu bàyyi leen noonu rek ñuy tambambaalu amul benn sas boo xam ne moom lañ taxaw pour waajal songa boobu noonu.
waaw yow xaj na da nga ko gisee noonu waaye at that present moment State House bépp soldat bu fa nekkoon ñu ñëpp ku ci nekk amoon na responsable am na foo nekkoon foo téyoon foo doon defend.
Yes,
because balaa coup bi sax loolu mu ngi fa woon.
Let's stay focused and answer the questions.
Wow.
Did you have a particular role, or did you not have a particular role at that time as part of the defense for State House?
jublu ci li yow mi ci sa bop amon na ben taxaway bo xamne yow mom nga jëlone pour taxawé ko mu bokk ci sa taxaway ngir mëna aar State House.
Amna luñ la sasoon.
No man sasuñ mo dara definitely.
Definitely I was not given any task.
Okay. Could you give us just a basic idea of the defense that was mounted for State House?
Nga waxal ñu rek pour ñu xam yeen ban façon jéego lan ngeen jëlone pour mëna aar fofu di State House.
State House bo ñëwé ci main gate bi moy bunta bu nga xamné ni dafa nekké ci bori l'hôpital bi.
State House, the main gate which was facing the hospital.
Bo ñëwé yang fa am bombardé.
If you come around that, Bombardier was there.
Mu ngi amoon benn fetal bu ñëw GPMG.
He had a gun called the GPMG.
Mooy General Purpose Machine Gun.
It is the General Purpose Machine Gun.
Fetal boobu noonu dafay jël ay bali fetal yu bari la mën a jël.
That gun takes a lot of bullets.
Te moom mu ngi ko amee woon foofu.
He was having that gun there.
Sangas yi nekkoon foofu yëpp boo yaa ngi fa nekk ñu ngi ko maam.
And all the guard posts there, the Sangas, were all manned by soldiers who
Marine itan bo demee foofu noonu Lieutenant Sonko moo fa nekkoon.
If you go to the Marina side, Lieutenant Sonko was also there.
So loolu physical guard bi ñoo ko responsible.
The physical guard were responsible.
Loolu du liggéey article bodyguards.
That's not a bodyguard's job.
So but physical guard bi.
But the physical guard,
they have done seen liggéey moom defoon nañ ko.
They did their job.
Because ñooñu ci under Lantombon Tamba lañ nekkoon te he was there commanding them.
Because they were under Lantombon Tamba and he himself was there commanding them.
Would you say that there was a strong defense of the State House?
Bon dafa melni amon nañ karange bu deuguer bo xamne ñoo taxawon pour aar State House.
Would you say ndax mun nga wax ne amon na karange gu deuguer bu doon garder State House ci jamono jooju?
Waaw lool amon na fa.
Yes, that was there.
Te Edu sax.
And even Edu,
bu ñëwé ak gaayam yi,
when he came with his people,
ñoom lool lañ doon ragal ñu ne we'll fight them because they know us. Wax na lool.
Yes, and he said they will fight because they know them.
Mu ne ñun we will fight them because ñun ñoo xam ne ñun dañ leen ñun ragaluñ leen, they know that.
Because he said these people will fight them. That was said by Edu because they know these people and he knew that these people were ready to fight. So that's why he said they will fight them.
Let us just stick to the most important facts. Before the arrival of the coupes, the plan at State House under Langtombong Tamba was to mount a defense, correct?
State House State House.
Wow.
Yes.
Good. Okay. And all the necessary posts to defend State House were occupied pursuant to the order he gave, correct?
Te palace nga xamne yépp soldat war na fa taxaw nañ fa pour gis ne dinañ aar State House.
Waaw loolu def na ko.
Yes, he did that.
Tell us what happened after all that. All the posts have been manned. You guys are there waiting. Tell us what happened.
Léegi wax ñu nak lan mo xew comme que soldat ku ci nekk jël nga sa taxawaay pour aar State House lan mo xew gannaaw boobu.
Léegi bu nekkee si lool si la njëkk a gis seen gaay force ñu njëkk a ñëw mooy Edu ak timam Edward Singate ak timam ñu ngi ñëwee si boori lopitaan bi boori mooy Makati Square foofu.
As we were there waiting, it was Edward and his team who first approached the place. In fact, they came via the gate which was facing the hospital area. That area is the area that they took to come.
The witness said two contradictory areas, two areas that are on opposite sides. He said RVH, that gate, and around McCarthy Square. And these are two different gates in opposite directions. Tell us which gate Edward took. RVH is McCarthy Square. Sorry, RVH is Marina Parade. McCarthy Square is around Ministry of Health. Or quadrangle. Which gate did Edward to?
Okay. You are right. So, okay. So, it's Marsebi. Si body Marsebi. Fufla ñëwé bunta bu nekké si Marsebi. You are right. Okay.
You are right. Edward and his people came via the road from the market area.
And tell us what happened.
Wax ñu nak lu xew.
Bum ñëwé man ma ngi taxaw.
When he came, I was standing there.
Bakari Kamara mu ngi taxaw suma bor.
Bakari Kamara was standing near me.
Then ñu xamné they need communication.
And they needed communication.
Dañ bëggona wax ak ñun.
They wanted to talk to us.
So légui ni Bakari Kamara mom mo sacrifice bopam pour mu dem. Ken waxut ko mu dem de. Way Bakari Kamara mo né dafa dem pour wax ak ñom mu dem.
Bakari Kamara decided to sacrifice and go and talk to them. Nobody sent him, but he said he was going to talk to them and he went.
So mu dem mu wax ak ñom.
He went and discussed with them.
What rank was Bakari Kamara at the time?
Bakari Kamara ban mahama la yore won jamono joju.
Mom sergeant la won pare orderly la won to the president.
He was a sergeant and he was also an orderly to the president.
And was it normal that he would do that without instructions from his command?
Ndax jaadu won na nak pour mu def lolu te fekk ki nga xamne moy njitam joxut ko ndigal li.
Waaw man nako def.
Yes, he could do that.
Okay. So what happened when he went there?
Bum démé mu ñëw.
When he went and came back,
mu nañu ñi mënuñu leena xex.
He said we cannot fight these people.
Mu ne ñi dañ amé nganaay yu bon.
He said these people have very heavy arms.
Bu mu waxé lo rek Fafa Jatta.
When he said that, Fafa Jatta,
sergeant la won.
He was a sergeant.
Mom si la tité.
And that's the time when he was scared.
Mu fire.
And he fired.
Lolu mo doon di first shot bu nga xamné State House amna fa.
It was the first shot which was fired at the State House.
Was the shot directed at people?
At
any particular target?
Bal bobu nga xamné mom nga xamné mo soxéku ndax amna fen fo xamné fa la jublu.
No, mom dafa tit.
No, he was panic stricken.
Was a negligent discharge, was it?
Melni dafa ciagante dal ci la bal bi soxéko.
Wa lolu mo am.
Yes, it was. That's how he shot the gun.
What happened after that?
After that, mu wax né légui ñu né ñu ubi len bunta bi ñu dugga.
And after that, they said, let's open the gates so that they can go in.
Lantom mo né bunta bi duñ ko ubi.
Lantombong said, these gates will not be opened.
Unless and until mo am command.
Unless and until he has
that order to ubi bunti State House pour ñom ñu dugg.
He has to get an order to open the gates of State House for them to come in.
Mune Bakari Kamara haral ma dem ma make communication ak Bajo au State Jawara pour mëna am ko akini kum mënta xam ci gaay pour mëna ubi bunta bi.
Then he told Bakari Kamara to wait. He was going to try and communicate with Bajo or Jawara himself so that they will have an order which might allow them to open the gates. Just as he was about to go into his office,
then boys commander, already these people
and somebody told him, hey, commander, these people have already breached and entered this already. That's Yaya Jammeh and others who came through the Marina Parade Road around the hospital area.
Lieutenant Sonko
was there. It was Lieutenant Sonko who allowed them to come in.
But that is contrary to the evidence we received. Edward Singate himself told the commission that it was his group that entered State House first.
Edward Singate mom ci bopam waxna fi ne mom ak mbolo mim andal ñoo ndika dugga State House.
What do you say about that?
Lo wax ci lolu.
Du alquran la ikati.
I took the Quran.
Wat mané deug lay wax.
And I swore that I'm going to tell the truth.
Man ma fa nekkon.
And I was there. What I know, that's what I'm going to say.
But I had some pre-hearing meeting with you. Even there, you confirmed to me that it was Edward Singate's group that first entered State House from McCarthy Square end.
Waaye yow ci sa bopp sax am na waxtaan woo xam ne defoon naa ko yow balaa ngaa ñëw fii te yow li nga ma waxoon mooy ne Edward Singate ak ñim àndal ñoo njëkk a dugg jaaree ko ci boori bunta ba féetee McCarthy Square.
No, man waxuma loolu. Kansul man lu ma la wax mooy.
What I said.
Lu ma wax ak lu ma bind suma statement ak la ma wax.
What I said and what I wrote in my statement.
mooy lu am.
is what happened.
te Edward Singate.
And Edward Singate.
moom groupe am njëkk ñoo dugg lii mooy la xam State House te loola wax. njëkk a dugg State House mooy Yaya Jammeh.
It was not Edward Singate and his group who first entered State House. It was Yaya Jammeh and his team who first entered State House.
te boo demee suma statement bu ma binda.
And if you check the statement that I wrote,
loolu nga fa gis.
That's what you will find there.
doo fa gis leneen lu dul loolu.
You will not see anything else there.
bala maa wax ak yow itam.
And before I talk to you,
anybody ku ma waxaat loolu la la wax.
Anybody that I talk to, this is what I told them.
dara jarul mu may fen bi da wax lu am.
There's nothing worth for me to tell lies.
Mr. Witness, it is not being suggested that you are lying.
Wow.
We are not suggesting that you intend to mislead the commission. What I am telling you is that the evidence you have just adduced is inconsistent with the body of evidence we have received so far.
Yes, that could be.
And also, I am telling you that what you told me before the hearing is inconsistent with what you are saying now. I remember clearly what you said. But let's put that aside because you said that outside the commission hearing. And I have your statement. And let me read out what you have in your statement. It does not state exactly who came in first, but it would shed some light on it. Because there are two important issues. Which group came in first? And on what basis did they come in? This is what you said. After a few minutes, we saw a team led by Edward Singate who insisted that they want to talk to us. Did you say that?
Yes, I said that.
So it was Bakari Kamara who voluntarily went to talk to them. You said that.
Yes.
And upon his return, he said, these people are heavily armed and we cannot stand them.
Wow.
Yes.
At that moment, Lang Tombong insisted that they will not enter until he gets the order, and was heading to his office.
Jamono bobu nak Lan Tombong ci la dal di bañ ne ñoom duñ ubbi bunta bi de fekk amuñ ndigal nonu la dem nak jublu ji ci office am.
Waaw, lolu wax nako.
Yes, I said that.
And subsequently saw the other team from the back gate had already captured some of our men.
Ci gannaaw gi nag ci lañ gis ne yeneen mbooloo mi nga xam ne ñoo jaaree ca bunti gannaaw ga ñoom am na suñ ay nit yoo xam ne sax jàpp nañ leen ba pare.
Waaw.
Yes.
That was the time he said, open for them.
Jamono boobu nag ci la wax ne ubbil leen leen.
Wow.
Yes.
So there is no need to open if they are already in.
bon nak su fekkee ne ñu nga ca biir ba pare jarul ñuy wax ne ñu ubbi.
waaw ñaari bunta la.
Yes, there were 2 gates.
In fact,
wow,
it was Musa Jammeh who opened the McCarthy Square gate.
Ndaxam sax Musa Jammeh moo ubbi bunta ba nga xam ne moo faree ca wàlli McCarthy Square.
Correct?
No, man la confirmal ne Musa Jammeh moo ko ubbi o ubbiwut ko.
No, I can't confirm.
Waaye lu ma mën a wax mooy Lantombong dafa bañoon na bunta bi bu mu ubbi.
That you have said.
Wow.
You have said in your statement.
Wow.
You have said in your oral testimony without being prompted and without reference to the statement.
Wow.
You told me that outside the hearing you have maintained that again.
Okay.
So that is not an issue for now.
Okay.
The issue is, was an order subsequently given for the gates to be opened, knowing fully well that, or accepting at that stage, that State House can no longer be defended.
Léegi li ma laajte mooy ndax am na ndigal boo xam ne joxe nañ ko pour ñu ubbi bunta bi gannaaw buñ xamee ne digga rek jamono jooju moom mënatuñoo aar State House.
Waaw loolu am na.
Yes, that happened.
All right. We have received evidence
am na ay seede yoo xam ne jot nañ ko fi.
That there was a conversation between Lang Tombong and Yaya Jammeh over the phone in Jola.
Ne am na kàddu yoo xam ne dox na diggante Lang Tombong ak Yaya Jammeh ñu doon ko wax ci téléphone te ci làkki Jola lañ ko doon wax.
In which Lang Tombong agreed to open the gates of State House, and he opened when Yaya Jammeh's team arrived.
Ci la nangu nag pour ubbi bunti State House te daf ko ubbi fekk Yaya Jammeh ak ñim àndal egsi nañ State House.
You being a person who was present there,
yow mi nga xam ne yow ci sa boppa yaa fa teewoon.
did you see anything to suggest that statement is true?
Ndax gis nga dara loo xam ne mun naa dëggal ne lii ma wax nii moom dëgg la.
Loolu nekkut dëgg.
That's not true.
Why did you say that?
Lu tax nga ne du dëgg?
Ndax bu nekkoon loolu dëgg la.
If that is the truth,
then Lang Tombong
xam
na Yaya Jammeh.
knew Yaya Jammeh.
Bu xamee ne Yaya Jammeh.
If he knows that Yaya Jammeh
dafa pare pour def coup.
is ready to organize or stage a coup.
Yaya Jammeh moog Lang Tombong.
Yaya Jammeh and Lang Tombong.
Foog naa.
I think.
Lang Tombong moom.
Lang Tombong himself.
Yaya Jammeh mën naa am ak moom loo xam ne nii moom dana ko mën a danga xam ne daddee moom dana ko sympathise o mu support ko ci la moo def waaye Lang Tombong amul fenn fu mu supporté Yaya Jammeh so that means ne Yaya Jammeh ak Lang Tombong amuñ anything loo xam ne ni in common Lang Tombong sa Yaya Jammeh daf ko uludoon Lang Tombong.
Well, as things were going, Lang Tombong could have been somebody who might have sympathized Yaya Jammeh, but on this particular day, there was nothing like that, and Lang Tombong didn't have anything to do with Yaya Jammeh. In fact, Yaya Jammeh, Lang Tombong was against opening the gates. This is why he tried to sought for permission, but Lang Tombong was not on his side.
The answer is long and muddled,
okay.
A bit difficult to comprehend, but I'm not after your own personal views as to the relationship.
Okay.
I don't want you, I'm not inviting you to speculate.
Okay.
All I want you to say, to answer, to talk about is from what you saw. Is the suggestion that Lang Tombong spoke to Yaya Jammeh and ordered you guys to open the gate?
No, lol amut because bena ñun ñoo fa nekkoon ak Lang Tombong. There is amut fenn fu Lang Tombong jëlee téléphone de wax. Pour mo wax ak ñoom Badio sax dafa waroon a dem office am pour wax. So bu nekkoon communication boobu mu fa nekk loolu laa mën a amee te amut fa.
There was no instance where Lang Tombong communicated with somebody on the phone. And Lantombong didn't speak to Yaya Jammeh on the phone. In fact, if there was going to be a communication, Lantombong wanted to go and make the call in his office, but to talk to Yaya Jammeh, that didn't happen.
Good, thank you very much. And after all these groups, these two groups, converge into State House, what happened?
Waa baax na bon jërëjëf léegi nag gannaaw boo xamee ne ñaari mbooloo yi yëpp nag dugga nañ biir State House lana xew.
buñ duggee State House.
When they came into State House,
man dama move to dama dem si boori garage yi Jawara seen oto yi fu ñu nekk foofu laa dem taxaw.
I went to the garage where Jawara's vehicles are usually parked. That's where I went and I stood there.
maa ngi study ñoom seen movement.
I was studying their movements, watching.
Paul Bojang wax ne.
That was the time when Paul Bojang told me.
Ne they are coming for you. ñu ngi ñëw pour yow.
We are coming for you.
ñu ne fu Jawara nekk moom la ñoo laajte to yaa yóbbu Jawara, so they want to know that from you.
And we are coming for you for the purpose of knowing where Jawara is, because you took him to wherever he is, and that's why we are coming for you.
Non la demee si boori garden bi.
That's how I went towards the garden.
So ma fence bi ma jàll fence bi ma dem.
Then I decided to scale the fence and go.
From the State House ma escape.
From the State House I escaped.
Ma ne bu ngeen maa rey sax man fu Jawara nekk du ma leen ko wax.
I said to them, even if you are going to kill me, I will not tell you where Jawara is.
Who did you say that to?
No, that's
what I said.
Wow, wallahi suma xel. So I have to go. Bu fen buñ ma rey fu Jawara nekk, I'll not reveal that to them.
I said that in my mind. I said to myself that wherever Jawara is, I will not tell them, even if they are going to kill me.
Ma dem ma stay Tabakuro si benn NIA officer Lamine Diagne kiram foofu laa nekkoon for 2 days.
I went and stayed with Mod Lamine Diagne, a former NIA officer. I stayed at his home for 2 days.
I'll never reveal fu Jawara nekka because boo gisee ma dem toog ci NIA officer boobu noonu pour bañ a wax di secret ne Jawara fii la nekk ñu téye ko or anything.
Because the reason why I went to stay at that NIA man's home is that I don't want to reveal the secret where Jawara is so that they'll capture him. I didn't want that.
Mr. Witness, in all honesty, you had it in your mind that revealing that Jawara was at the boat would have endangered him? Was that what you had in your mind?
Ndax yow li nga xalaatu sa xel mooy boo waxoon ne Jawara ca gaal ga loolu bon daf ko indil loraange.
No, man bëgguma am ak ñoom anything.
No, I just didn't want to have anything to do with them.
So it was not about revealing where Jawara was or where...
No, lol part of suma liggéey la.
Yes, that was part of my job.
All right, but obviously, probably even before you reached Tobacco Road, it was known to almost everybody that Jawara was on board the vessel.
Xëj na sax yow balaa nga doon egg State House balaa nga doon egg Tobacco Road ñëpp xamoon nañ ne Jawara mu ngi ca gaal ga ñu bari xamoon nañ ko.
Kañ na ñoom mën nañoo am tuumaay ndax kenn rek moo leen mën a wax fa Jawara nekk ak leen mooy Alagie Gaye te Alagie Gaye moo dem ak Jawara. So bu leen kenn ñoom ñu nekk State House mënuñoo xam.
Yes, at that time those who were at the State House they didn't know because Alagie Gaye was the guy who went with Jawara. And those who were at the State House, they didn't know.
Mr. Gaye, it's quite obvious that you contributed, you performed your role in escorting the president to the vessel. That is a given. No one can take that from you. Perhaps we should give you a Medal of Honor for that. But that aside, the fact that Jawara was at the vessel was a notorious fact because that was announced for all to understand.
Alagie Gaye dëgg la ànd nañ ci nangu nañ ne yow bokk nga ci ñi nga xam ne ñoo rëccaloo Jawara dugal ko ca biir gaal ga loolu moom ñu ngi la cee gërëm di la ci tagg ndax mun nañ la cee jox sax ab taranga waaye
mun nañ la cee jox médaille
pour ne nekkoon na ci biir gaal gi loolu nekk doon lu umpa kenn.
waaw loolu mën naa ñàkk umpa kenn after ñoom foog naa si lañ ko xam.
Yes, that could be an open secret. In fact, it was after that they came to know.
The next few days, the members of the junta were busy assigning new responsibilities to people, correct?
ay fan yu néew gannaaw loolu ñi nga xam ne ñoo bokk ci mbooloom junta boobu noonu nga xam ne ñoo def coup d'état bi ñoom nag jamono jooju ñu ngi ñàkk a jot nag di seet ku ci nekk ban place lañ la war a jox.
waaw.
Yes.
Where was Langtombong first deployed? As far as you know.
yow ci sa wàlli xam-xam Langtombong fan lañ ko njëkk a yóbbu.
Langtombong dañ ko yóbbu fale MT police lañ ko yóbbu. nekk foofu noonu foog naa Yaya Jammeh daf ko meroon because buntu bu mu ubbi doon State House loolu moo tax mu mere mu yóbbu ko foofu.
I think Yaya Jammeh was angry because of Langtombong's refusal to open the gates. I think that's why he took him to that place empty, the police.
That's your opinion, isn't it?
loolu mooy lu am.
That's what happened.
I mean, I'm talking about the reasons.
loolu mooy lu am. because loolu mooy di am.
Yes, that's what happened.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Perhaps this is a convenient time to take a break. And we'll finish when we return.
Well, we will reveal where you can get coffee. We'll take a 30-minute break and come back at 12:20.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and the meeting is adjourned.